On our Career Hub segment, our guest is Vera Sablah. She's the head of HR and admin with Jobberman in Ghana. Thank you so much, Vera, for joining us.
It's a pleasure to be here. Happy New Year to your viewers.
Happy New Year to you too. Now, before we begin to set career goals for the new year 2023, let's do a bit of taking stock about how our career goals went in 2022. So what are those parameters that you will use to evaluate our career goals went last year?
Okay, so first of all, you need to look at what your goals were. And you also need to look at your past and your current expectations. You should also look at whether the goals that you set were realistic enough. You also have to look at whether you've made any progress. You also need to look at what are the things that probably held you back. As human as we are, definitely there will be obstacles in the way. So with these obstacles, what are the strategies that you can develop to be able to overcome such obstacles? Now, overall, you need to look at where you are in terms of the career that you set. So after this talk, then you'll be able to develop a plan, okay? Because if you don't take stock of it, you will not be able to develop a plan as to when next you want to go. Because considering where you are actually versus your expectations is what is going to help you be able to know the goals that you're going to set for the next year.
Now, some people do not have New Year resolutions. Some people are just jumpy and spontaneous because of their skill set or because of their mien, as it were. Is it important to set career goals? And why is it important to set career goals for the new year?
Absolutely, it's important to set career goals. Let me use a 100-meter racer for an example, okay? If his goal is to be the best 100-meter racer for, let's say, his country or the world, what is he supposed to do? That is the goal he has to set. Okay, so it will give him a clear sense of direction. So that is what career goals does. It gives you that focus. It gives you a clear sense of direction. Now, when you set goals as well, it motivates you because you want to achieve what you have set for yourself. Goals also hold you very accountable. Now, the case study that I mentioned, like a goal racer, okay, because he wants to be the best either in the world or in his country, he needs to prepare towards that. He needs to have a goal. Where has he gotten to? It gives him that clear sense of focus. It helps him be able to measure himself as to the goal I set for myself. Where am I now? What can I do to be able to get to that point? So for me, goals are so important. Otherwise, I don't know what should be doing.
Hello, Vera, are you there? Okay, so we will try to reestablish connection with Vera as she continues to tell us how important it is to set career goals. Of course, she said it's a way of evaluating where you were, knowing where you are and knowing how to move forward, and of course preparations towards some areas that you need to explore for you to be equipped enough to assume the kind of career goals that you have set out for you. So we will continue with the discussion, but then we'll go on a break and see how to bring Vera back, because this is very important, most especially as the new year is wearing on a new look. We'll be back in a bit. We continue the conversation on how important it is to set career goals for the new year. And we're being joined by Vera, even as she concludes on the part where she tells us how important it is to set career goals and, of course, how to achieve them.
Okay, so career goals also serves as a measuring stick. How far are you with the goal that you have set? So it kind of puts you in that check. So for me, if you're somebody who wants to excel in your career, you definitely need to have goals. Other than that, I think you'll just be walking or working amiss.
Now, there could be some unprecedented situations whereby those who have set the career goals are not able to meet up. That's why you talked about evaluation earlier on. There could be issues with not having the particular kind of skill set that will position you for that position you properly for that kind of career goal that you're hoping for. There are issues with experience, exposure. It could be logistics. It could be anything. Now, what is the best approach, or how do you think people can go round and above these obstacles to help them achieve more in terms of their career?
Okay, so I would approach this in two ways. First of all, the career goals that you set for yourself must be SMART goals. SMART, I mean, the S I'm saying is your goal must be specific. Your goal must be clear. It must not be ambiguous, okay? The M, which is the measurable, means that your goal should be able to measure your goal. What are the criteria you have put in place to be able to measure those goals? A for achievable looks at, is the goal I have set for myself, is it a possible goal or is an impossibility? Now, realistic, which is the R, stands for realistic or relevant. Now, with relevance to your career, does the goal I've set go in line with it? Now, with the T, which is a time bound, I mean, you should be able to have a time frame for the goal that you have set. So with these that I've mentioned, which is the SMART goals, if your goals are smart enough, you should be able to get to where you want to get to. As well as when you are done defining the goals in the SMART sense, you need to be able to categorize your goals. You know, there are short-term goals and there are long-term goals. Now, the short-term goals are goals that you can achieve between a year or two. And the long-term goes for about 3 to 5 years. Now, if you mix the two, you will lose focus. Because the short-term goals, let's say, for instance, a short-term goal can be a goal like you want to learn a language. Another example of a short-term goal is that you want to learn a computer software or something. So within that first 2 years, you can categorize that within a short-term goal. Now, a long-term goal, which is about 3 to 5 years, it's, let's say, you want to be an expert in your career field. That takes a lot of time. So if you put a long-term goal under a short-term goal, you will frustrate yourself. So for me, these are the two approaches you need to take to be able to achieve the goals that you have set for yourself as an individual.
All right, Vera, you talked about categorization. There's also the issue of prioritization, how to prioritize the set of goals that you have outlined for yourself in the new year. Now, there might be some people who are hoping to work hard to gain promotion on their job. Some people are hoping to have multiple streams of income attached to what they already have. And some are looking for a raise, as it were, or acquiring skills. So how do you categorize these career goals and prioritize them so that you are able to achieve one at a time and all of them fall in a particular synchronization that improves your efficiency and your achievability?
Okay, so I mean, like I said from the beginning, it's about planning. It's also about where you want to get to in terms of your career, okay? The list of things that you mentioned are quite a lot of goals. Some take time, some do not take time. Now, I mean, that saying that goes that you can be a jack of all trades, but a master of none. When you're pursuing a particular career, okay, there are processes that you need to go through. Let me give a typical example. Let's say that you want to be, let's say, an expert in the HR field within the next 5 years. Where do you start from? Which qualifications are you supposed to get? Where do you find yourself now? What are you doing or what are you working towards? So when you plan them systematically and you prioritize which one you want first, I mean, which one you want first is dependent on what is important to you at that moment. So if you discover what is important to you at that moment, then you'll be able to prioritize. Okay, I want to do the education part of it first. I want to add the certification later. I want to have a mentorship program. So when you prioritize it, it goes in line. But then if you want to do all at the same time, you end up, messing yourself up because you didn't have a plan to that.
All right. Finally, before I let you go, in about a minute or two, Vera, I'd like you to talk about the issue of consistency and focus, because we're in a situation whereby, or we're in an environment whereby there are so many distractions and so many discouragements. How can people stay focused and consistent on their set out goals?
For me, okay, goals are things that you want to achieve as an individual. Now, yes, there are a lot of obstacles in the way, but then when you are focused and you have the right guidance, usually it's a win for you. Then also, as an individual, what kind of efforts are you putting in to be able to achieve your goal? Because somebody can have the best of talents, but then if the person is not putting in the effort, the person is not consistent, the person is not hardworking, obviously the person will not be able to achieve that goal. There are a lot of, let's say, I'm usually talking about the HR because I'm into HR. If you want an HR career, yes, definitely there are a lot of distractions. Sometimes you don't even get the opportunity to be able to work at an environment that you can be able to pursue that career. What do you do about it? Do you give up or you keep pushing? I keep telling people that continue knocking until the door is opened, okay? There are people that things can fall on their laps within just at any time. There are people who have to struggle to get there. But it is all about your determination, your consistency, and your hard work. Currently there are a lot of platforms. The biggest platform now for professionals is LinkedIn. Sometimes you can go into somebody's inbox, ask the person, okay, can you mentor? Yes, you can have people not responding to you, but you can also have one person that would respond to you, and that can help you change, your what do you call it? That can help you pursue your career. So yes, as for the distractions, they are there. Even at the top, there are distractions. But when you're focused, you're consistent, you put enough time into what you are doing, you would excel.
All right, thank you so much, Vera. It's all about consistency, hard work, and of course, smart work, even as you had itemized. Thank you so much for joining us, Vera.
My pleasure.
All right. Now, as the new year chapter opens, it is important to take stock of how you want your year to go and reflect on the kind of career path and aspiration that you're hoping for. 2023 is a fresh start and an opportunity to set new goals, take on new challenges, and of course, strive towards success. Now, with the takeaways from our guest today, we can make the most of these opportunities that we have and work towards making our professional dreams a reality by being consistent, as Vera said, working hard, working smart, and being strategic. Very important.